Oh, this is here. I didn't even know.
So,
Didn't leave the building.
I have to kneel on my seat because no one will see me if I sit down.
No,
you can sit on my lap, Jake. Come here.
He is quite
Come here,
short.
Jake. Sit on my lap.
I'm the same, look how short I get.
I'm not sure.
They're all like legs.
Are you ready for this? Let's go.
Hocus pocus. Hocus. We're hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus.
Here we go.
So I have to ask, first and foremost, how has the show been treating you guys so far this weekend?
Terribly.
Terribly.
Yes.
What?
Can you guys be any nicer to me, please?
Come on, guys. We gotta show. We gotta show.
Everyone I ask, I'm like, where are you visiting from? They're like, we're just down the street.
I know.
Is there anyone here from like out of the country?
Actually, we have so far the furthest.
Oh, we had a Canadian too.
A Canadian? Is there a Canadian?
Don't you know, eh? We're a Bolton, Canada, eh?
Okay.
I met a couple from Scotland yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. They come here every year for like the last 13 years, they said.
That's
How was the
awesome.
weather? Probably. Yes. Indeed.
No, it's a good place to be. Obviously, we're here to celebrate this little, tiny pop cultural amazingness called Hocus Pocus. And I have to ask, obviously, this is one of the most defining movies of our generation. I said what I said, don't argue. But for you guys as actors, how did you get involved with this project?
It's called Audition.
Let's go.
Yeah, basically auditioned for the part. Didn't get it.
What?
To be honest.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, months went by. Months, like 3-4 months, and then I got a call to come back. And I believe it was a screen test with some of these fine folks that are sitting at the table. And yeah.
And we all lived happily ever after.
And here we are, 30, married for 30 plus years.
I love it. I love it.
Actually, all contractually bound to one another. New thing in California, you know how we are.
Disney, I tell you, it's a very scary company.
My parent company.
Right. Mom and Dad just like to keep the kids together.
I love it. Does anyone else have any kind of fantastic stories about their audition process?
Well, mine was, Thor had a contract, but I had an audition that was probably one of the latter auditions of everyone else's. I went in, I did, audition for the part. Kenny Ortega, the lovely Kenny Ortega. He was in the room, and then I exited the room, and I hear this, I'm in the parking lot with my mom, like almost driving away, and I hear, Vanessa! Vanessa! And I was like, who is that? And I turned around, it's Kenny running to me. Can you come back? And this is just so like an attribute of Kenny, just like doesn't send anyone out to get me. He goes himself. He said, can you do it one more time? And I was like, oh, okay. And I went back in, did it one more time, and then again, didn't hear. I didn't hear anything again. So I think it was like maybe 2 weeks, not months and months. But then we got called to come back. It was
What was the direction that he gave? What was the one more time? Do you remember what the adjustment
I know
was?
it's terrible. I blacked out during that part.
By the way, a round of applause for Vanessa's impression of Kenny. Like, I thought Kenny was in the room.
Okay.
Somebody cards you
Vanessa!
Yeah, can we not ask him any more questions?
Sorry.
Nice meeting y'all.
There's a reason you're sitting so
I see it.
Yes, you are!
Jason, what about you? Any spectacular occurrences? Any Katie chasing you in the parking lot for your audition for this?
No,
No.
quite the opposite. No. We all recognize it's not me in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Right? That's the lovely, handsome Sean Murray, who was originally cast as not just Human Thackeray, but the voice of Thackeray as well. So my participation came in after principal photography was done.
Okay.
But by coincidence, like I was working on the lot while they were filming, and I knew Omri and Vanessa, So I crashed the set and watched film. So I was on the set watching some of the things being filmed. And I thought, oh, this is cool. I'd like to be in this movie. Guess I won't. I auditioned for Max too, and didn't even get a call back. I hated me. Wow. I think that's what Kenny said to my face. No. Kenny's a love. No, he's a lovely being. No. But the movie was finished. Months later, got a call. They're auditioning for Hocus Pocus for voice of Thackeray Binks, and I didn't know that character. I hadn't got the script ahead of time. I'm just looking for like a sort of an English old world sort of sound, so I had read for it. I had no idea I was replacing anybody or dubbing over someone, and I read in my closet, and I got a callback. Read for Kenny, who was amazing, and then did my participation to picture. The film is pretty much almost done when I was part of it. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Such
Yeah,
a great
and
addition.
then I came, it was almost done, because I came in for ADR, which is sort of, clean up your dialogue at the end of the movie. And I see him in there, I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm working on this project. And because
in the movie with you, Vanessa.
I know, God.
I am talented, Vanessa.
I did get the role of Max, but I'm here. No. Anyway, because we knew each other, that's why I was like, what are you doing here? So anyway, friends just being crazy.
This is what happens. Thor, what's your experience with gaining this role?
Well, as
Just
Vanessa
being
said,
awesome.
I had a contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's already like pretty cool.
Very precocious.
No. So I mean, honestly, I was so excited to participate in something that took place during Halloween, and it was like kind of like a dark story. And I had read one of the first drafts of the script, which was very in depth and had a lot of detail, and like they were talking about, Mary had a dog face and this and that and the other. I'm like, sucking the lives out of little kids, okay?
Yeah.
All right, but I'm like, what's a virgin? What is that? Make a big deal about it.
With the first
So
no.
I would know, but then also, then like more info came in, like, Bette Midler's gonna be Winifred. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Those. And so yeah, I was just really, really happy to play that character. I think it was perfect for me at that time, and working on the set and working with these guys, they were great. I had a wonderful trio, and he came along, bless his heart, later. But so now we're like we got the quad going.
Okay.
But yeah, it was nice. It was like the right time, the right project. And just great people to work with. And Kenny had a wonderful energy, and he brought a very theatrical thing to it. It was big. And then Yvette leaned into that as well. And then there was a musical number, and that was cool. Yeah.
I love it. Now, just out of curiosity, when was the last time you guys watched the movie?
Last year.
Last year? Okay.
Halloween time?
That's smart. It's timely. I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe Salem?
Okay.
That would have been the last time I watched it when we were in
Why do you
Salem.
sound like you're in another planet? Hello from Mars.
Coming from Mars.
Man, I get no love, no respect.
I'm not very sure.
Be nice to Max
Hey,
Allison.
listen, he needs it. That's it.
Jerk face needs a lot of love.
So Henri, being that you watched it not too long ago, how do you feel being kind of the catalyst for all of this mishap here, trying to show off? I mean, as Max, were you embodying every young teenage boy there ever was who wants to do the stupidest thing possible for a girl?
Yeah, just basically it was an extension of Armor Cat.
Yeah. It was a very personal sort of movie.
Yeah, it was an easy role to play because I'm like, this is me.
I love it.
Perfect.
One of the great themes of this series is siblings, right? The relationship between Danny and Max is so beautiful. How did you guys build that?
Well, we hated each other instantly.
Just like siblings do.
It was natural, very natural. Couldn't stand the little brat. She couldn't stand me. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Two peas in a
fantastic.
pod.
That is amazing. When it comes to the siblings, obviously we love your groupings, but the Sanderson sisters, how did they function as a trio? Were they ever kind of bickering on set at all?
I don't
As
think
their
we're
characters?
contractually allowed to talk about
Okay, that's fair. We're not gonna talk about that. Disney's got shooters. I'm not playing. I know these things.
We can talk
There are
about it.
spies in here.
But we can't do it.
Well, they never, well, they can touch on this, but you guys didn't really share space with them as sort of being kids, right?
Well, yeah, we often weren't on the set at the same time. There were only a handful of times when we were actually all engaged and working on the set at the same time, namely at the house when we bring the witches back to life, during the musical number. And then one other one where we would roast them and we'd throw them in the thing and then maybe something else. And that's at the end, yeah, and the Billy and all that. And that was kind of it. And so like largely it was just us because also there's like time restrictions and a lot of these setups were very, very, very large scale and it took quite a time. So they had to really be careful and precious with how they scheduled us to work. So we often were like, even if we were in the same sequence with them, we still wouldn't really interact with them that much because they had to shoot us first or us later or whatever.
Yeah, next time y'all watch it, count how many scenes
Very
they're
rarely.
in the same frame together.
Yeah.
Only when she tied me up and she really enjoyed it.
Wow. That says so much.
I did, didn't you say you were there for the rehearsals? Like, one of you was, right? For the rehearsals at the beginning? Anyway,
Yes, I was.
You were, yeah. So we saw them in like a ballroom or something, rehearsing with Peggy, who was the choreographer. And we were seeing them developing their character and their movements, which was so awesome. I literally saw, Winnie come to life and Sarah come to life, and just, with the little touches that they did of like, Winnie just, and like it all came together beautifully. And I didn't realize until later like how much the choreographer brought to it, brought to each of their characters. So that was cool as a young girl in my second movie. Really, Hocus Pocus was my second movie, seeing all that.
What a great second
behind the
movie.
scenes. I know, right?
So good, so good. Out of curiosity, when did you realize that Hocus Pocus was the phenomenon that it is? Obviously, this is pre-internet, so
Yeah.
how did you guys find out that it had made such an impression on all of us?
For me, it was, we did a 20th anniversary D23 thing in Burbank at the Disney lot. And I kind of was MIA at that point. I was living in the mountains. I was not really, or I was living here, but anyway, I was like out of the loop. And we did our thing, we did a panel, a screening, whatever. And then afterwards, we were just like rapping in the parking lot. We got mobbed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, tons of fans, and I think we were all just kind of like, what the frick is going on here? And I think at that point, I kind of was like, oh, wow, this movie actually has some legs.
Yeah.
Because it literally kind of like died when it came out. It didn't.
Yeah, Halloween movie released in July.
Against Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Once again, if you guys remember when that happened, drink some water right now.
Wow.
Hopefully that person got fired.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's not smart planning.
I got a great idea, everyone. Let's put a Halloween movie out in July.
And they're fired.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, I'm a big Halloween fan anyway.
Mhm.
So it seemed like every time I went to the Spirit Halloween store, there'd be like a little bit more merchandise. Right? Oh, all right. People, I guess,
You're
really
not
like
on
it.
now.
I also loved it, honestly, when some people be like, I love doing this movie, I love doing that movie, and I also love doing Hocus Pocus. Yeah, it went from that to, I love you, Hocus Pocus. Like, come on, I'm outing myself. That was the first thing that would say versus the other way around.
Okay.
That was cool for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I
Guys.
think for me, I guess just to cap it
No,
off,
of course.
was when I had like some other projects that were coming out and like kind of the topic of the discussion for that year or that cycle. And I was like feeling pretty confident and happy about that. And then I was like, I don't know, I might have been in the Midwest or some off the beaten track kind of path, town. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. Are you that girl from Hocus Pocus? And I'm like, great, you want to talk about American Beauty or Ghost World or any of that? Okay, cool. Hocus Pocus it is.
I mean, it's that good. That's all I'm saying. Like, I mean, truly, American Beauty and Ghost World are phenomenal. They really are. Right? As a comic book guy, Ghost World, tip top. What, Hocus Pocus?
Right. No, I agree. I get it, and I agree. I'm gonna little love.
That's right.
Okay.
Guys, I want to invite you to ask some questions. We got a microphone right here.